We just going to get this thing going right now. What's going on, everybody? And what a crazy day, because Dre Bly is back in Detroit, but not as a player, as a coach. And I got to say, Dre Bly I loved him as a Detroit Lion. I absolutely love it. So now he is our cornerbacks coach. Freaking epic. Love it, man. And appreciate to Sergeant Curtis Schultz for becoming a member to the channel. Huge shout out to you. Everybody show some love to Sergeant Curtis Schultz. I don't know if he is a service member or if this is a police force, but if you serve in your country, in the Army, or a Marine, let me know. Give you a shout out, because I was in the Army too. I was a sergeant. Absolutely love it. We got Mojo in the building. Bobo Lane, Weston, Lion, OG, 9 Drinks. What's up, man? Craig Ferguson in the Ronin. Lions, Kool-Aid, Bryce S. My favorite Lions when he played. Yeah, Dre Bly was epic, man. And I was in that time as well. Absolutely is in the time. I love seeing Dre Bly. Let me know in the comment section, are you happy that Dre Bly is the Lions now a secondaries coach? He's going to be in there doing, I think, a hell of a job. I think it's the perfect guy for our coach. But let me know in the comment section if you think that is a good one, because I do. I'm going to go ahead, hell yeah. I'm going to do a hell yeah in there. What is going on, Jake? Put a hell yeah if you're happy that Dre Bly is a Detroit Lion. What is up, Rodney? What is up? Jake says yes, Duce plus Panthers equals Panthers back. Is that what he is? I didn't know exactly what his title's going to be. I was trying to figure out what Duce Staley's title. I know he's going, obviously, to the Carolina Panthers. I love Duce Staley. We got some hell yes. It's a bad hire, said no one ever. Haters House, you had me there for a minute. You got me. Dre Bly is going to bring the swag. Hell yeah, man. We got some swag up in here in the D. It's freaking fantastic. I love it. You know, we got swaggy swag. Hopefully he comes back. I'm going to assume he does. But this team is full of it. The culture is fantastic. Absolutely love it. But let me know have you heard anything on what Duce Staley is going to be doing over there for Carolina. I haven't heard a single thing yet of his job. Potentially could be an OC. That's what I'm hearing. Rampage says Duce and Jim Baum could be OC. That's kind of what I'm there. But I've been working all day, so I haven't really got into the Duce stuff yet. But hopefully he has an opportunity to be the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, and you wonder why he's doing a transition. He's doing the transition because his mom is not that healthy, and obviously that's not a good thing. We want this guy to have a healthy family, so he's going to be closer to his mother, and that's fantastic. He says, hello, U.S. Army retired. Thank you for your service, Sergeant Curtis Schultz. As well as I was a sergeant. That was my last. That was it, man. I didn't get past E5, and I got out of the Army after 8 years. What's going on? Tim Monroe. Drew was coaching DBs at NC State for 4. Yeah, Dre Bly is a man. He's awesome. He's awesome. It's good to have him back. I think it's going to be great. We don't know about Aaron Glenn yet. I know he's getting another interview for the Indianapolis Colts. He's still in consideration for the Arizona Cardinals job. Still wait and see approach. I got to tell you what, are they ever going to ever hire their coaches? You're wasting your damn time. Get it done. Holy smokes, man. Like, where are you? A month away from free agency, and you still got a coach over there. Get it done so we're stop having to wait over here. Good God, we wanted to get it done. Want that thing to be over with. Ready to get done. Then we got Steve Hayden as our new tight ends coach. That's freaking awesome. Really good there. But yeah, not a lot going on besides, a little bit of coaches here and there. But Duce Staley, everyone's asking me, is this a big-time loss? Here's the thing, guys, when it comes to our coaches. As we become a good team, our coach is going to be poached. We're going to have good coaches that's going to leave this team and go to other teams. I know this is not something we're familiar with. I know this is something that doesn't happen to our team. But it is factual. When you become a good football team, other teams want to replicate your success and find coaches that did a good job for your team over there. So this is going to be the norm, folks. We got to get used to it. This is the Dan Campbell coaching tree. This is what good teams have happened to them. And you have to be able to adjust. So I expect coaches to get poached. I expect this to continue on years down the road. We just got to groom our coaches, and we got to hope. And I think Dan Campbell has got a good finger on what's going on in the locker room to find the good coaches to surround this football team with. I don't know if we get a comp pick, Lions Kool-Aid. This is a question because from what the NFL says, it's got to be equal to or above what the minority coach goes from one team to the next. So we don't know what Duce Staley is going to be over there. So yeah, that's why I want to know. Do you get a comp pick? Because if he becomes an offensive coordinator, I'm not sure if that's actually a step above a running backs coach because he was assistant head coach. So I'm not 100% sure. So I think it's a time and wait. Everly, I have no idea what happens in the draft. You know what happens in the draft? We sit there, and I tell you what, when we get close to the draft, after free agency, I think I'll have a pretty good idea. I have yet to be wrong in the first round of the Detroit Lions draft, except for the Jameson Williams trade-up. I didn't have a trade-up going from 32 to, I think it was 12. Besides that, I've been absolutely perfect. So I will go through, once free agency is done, I'll go through all the cap, I'll go everything, and I'll give you my assessment of what I think the Detroit Lions will do in the draft. I have a good feeling it's going to be defensive line with the 6th pick if we stay at 6. That's what I have a feeling, just sitting off right off rip. And I have a great feeling it's going to be cornerback at pick 18. Just sitting right off rip. But once I get into free agency and see what they do, because we don't know what they're going to do in free agency right now. Maybe they go get a really good corner, or maybe they, we don't know. So we just got to wait for free agency. Once that hits, once we see the cap situation, we can then assess, because each position you pay slotted amount per money. So if you're sitting at pick 6, do you want to pay a defensive lineman or an edge a certain amount of wage compared to a cornerback? Well, I'll know all that once we have the cap situation taken care of in free agency. Then I'll give you an idea. What is up, Dr. Detroit? OG of this game. Appreciate you coming in here, folks. We're just going to do some QA today. Why? Because why the hell not? I got no guests. I want you guys to run the show. So it's the mailbag segment, right? Meow. We're going to get into it right now, and you guys are just going to go ahead and run the show. So if you got questions, throw it in the comment section right now. We're going to get after it. What do y'all think about bringing Terrell Austin back as DC if AG rolls? He would be solid if he was here. He's Pittsburgh now. He was awesome at Justin. I don't think Rodney would come back to the Detroit Lions after what happened. I think he was a little bit salty that he wasn't, given him more of an opportunity here in Detroit. Not more. Bijan or bust? Are you talking about at pick 18 or 6? Lions Kool-Aid. I don't know what you're talking about there, but I don't think you have to be a Bijan or bust. I think there's some really good running backs, too. You can get 2nd, 3rd round, but Bijan Robinson is a fantastic player. What if they trade down? What position do they go? Lisa, you are reading my mind. Right before I went live, I'm making a video for tomorrow. This is going to be the main topic of that video, but I'll give you an idea. It depends where we trade down, and in my video scenario, there's going to be 3 trade down scenarios, and I'm going to go through each one for you, but without spoiling my video, it depends where we're at. So I think if you go from 6 to 9, you'll get the same players that you're going to get at 6 at 9. The Tyree Wilsons the Myles Muphy potentially. Maybe you're looking at Devin Witherspoon potentially at a 9. If you fall a little bit back more, we're talking 12-13 range. Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, Joey Porter Jr. I think you're looking more at corners at that position. Potentially, you can get defensive tackle like Brian Bressee, but he's starting to fall in mock drafts. The trend I'm seeing. Hell, I've seen mock drafts where he fall out of the first round completely. So it depends where you're at. Lisa, you give me a spot, and I'll give you an idea. You put in there a spot where we trade at, and I have the idea. What do you think about the new Lions coaches, Steve Hyden and Dre Bly? Love it. I thought he did good at Arizona as their coach, and from what I hear, they missed him a lot. So when you hear from the fans say it's a good idea, that's generally a good prospect. Dre Bly, I love it. How could you not love Dre Bly? I watched him play for many years. He was a fan favorite. He was a favorite of mine. Dre Bly is back, but as a coach, and I can't wait to see him at training camp and say, hey, Coach Bly, I was a fan when you were a Detroit Lion. So I love it, man. As we continue to get the former coaches, trend that Dan Campbell is doing, a good trend, and it's working. Go Lions. Hashtag Go Lions. My man, Eric right there. If AG gets the cold job, do we get Brian Flores to be defensive coordinator? I don't know. I think Brian Flores is in contention right now for the Arizona Cardinals head coaching position. But that could be an option for DC. I think that would be a fantastic option for defensive coordinator. I think it would be. I think he'd be a great. I know a lot of people don't like the political nonsense. I don't care about that. I care about production, and he's good as a DC. He's good with defense. So I'm with you, Eric. If we were to lose AG, I would love to get Brian Flores. I'd love it. And he's got the pulse of the players. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, Lisa says down to pick 12. So in between. I think at that position, you're potentially going, is Tyree Wilson available? Because he's an option that could be there at 12. I think you're definitely looking at Devin Witherspoon. I think he would be a player the Lions could look to get for sure, because I think he's now risen to being cornerback one. The physicality, I was watching him hit people, and he just hits. Now, he's 6 foot tall. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's a physical corner, and I love that. And, of course, Dan Campbell loves that. So I think you'd be looking at him at kind of right there. Let's see here. If I miss your question, repost it. I'm not being an a-hole. I'm just coming back up and missing it. So just copy-paste. We will get with you for sure on here. Want Barry Sanders to coach the running backs. He does not want to coach. And look, I love Barry Sanders. He's more of a relaxed type of guy. I don't know if he'd fit as really much of a coach. Coaches, like if you see Duce, he's the type of guy that's really motivated type of individual. I think that's what you need for a coach. Barry Sanders, not really that type of guy, more relaxed, kind of simmered type of individual. The Pass Master, he says, Lions just stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. I'm a Vikings fan, and I just want to say, Jameson Williams, excited for year 2. Respect the real one. The Pass Master, thank you so much. We got a Vikings fan in here. Yes, he is a real one. You are a real one for sure. I appreciate you stopping by. I got a question for you before you leave. Do you, as a Vikings fan, want your team to draft a quarterback or trade for Trey Lance after Kirk Cousins? I want to hear the pulse from Vikings fans, because I talk about all NFL behind the scenes. I'm talking all the time, especially with TA, my guy. Raw Detroit in the building right there. We talk all things football. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the Raw Podcast. Why? Because this guy knows prospects. We talk 24/7 football, Detroit Lions fan, everything you need to listen for a good football team. What's up, Mike? Love the coaches. I do too, man. Maybe grab a running back coach from New Orleans. Draft Murphy at 6 and Simpson at 18. Cornerback room super deep. Christopher, man, you could be Brad Holmes. Please be Brad Holmes, because I would love to get Myles Muphy and getting Simpson at 18. My goodness, he would be really, really good. He would be good. He would be absolutely good. I want Jalen Ramsey for pick 55. The problem, David, is the finances for Jalen Ramsey. I don't mind the draft capital, second-round pick. Can you make it work with the finances? That's the issue there. Go Lions. Are the Lions and Calvin patching things up? Tim Monroe? Yeah, I think that everything's starting to be cool. And you want to know what? I'm going to talk to Herm, and we're going to get Calvin Johnson on. I'm going to ask him that question. I'm going to ask Megatron in the flesh. I'll go to the studio and talk to him about it. How's everything going on with you in the Detroit Lions? So, wait on that one. I was just gonna hit up Herm today, get Megatron on. So, that will be a question I'll ask for sure. But I think so. And he's a relaxed guy. If we mend the Calvin Johnson fence, I'd love him to be our wide receivers coach. He's a chill guy as well. Megatron's a real chill guy. I don't know if he's like a coaching type of individual. He's not the outspoken guy. I'd love for him to help, be involved in some way, but I'm not sure coaching, if he's like Antoine Randall. If you see the coaches in person and I go to training camp, you can see how hands-on these guys are, right? They are right in your face and very hands-on-y. I'm not sure if Calvin Johnson's that type of person. Not sure. Should we consider taking a right guard in the first round? Craig, I know people would be pissed off and furious. They would say this.
Oh, my God.
If we took a guard at 18, but I'm going to tell you what right now. I don't think I'd be mad about it. If they took Cyrus at 18, I'm not going to be mad about it. Because he is a damn good guard. And you build the offensive line. And if you don't know what's going on with the right guard, it's going to make Jared Goff better. It's going to give... We've seen what an offensive line does, folks. It makes your whole damn offense look good. So if they did it, I'm not going to be pissed off. I know some other people would be like, oh, hell no, man. They're going to...
He needs some milk.
I wouldn't be that way. But I would be okay with it. In all honesty, man, I trust Brad Holmes. In Brad Holmes, I trust. I'm going to take his ideas over mine, personally, because he seems to be a freaking magician. So, if he goes that route, I'm fine with it. Dre Bly, do you think this hire will help out Jeff Okudah big time? I don't think it's going to hurt. Dre Bly's a damn good corner. He's a former player. A Detroit Lions great. He can also talk to him about the Lions fans, but I think Okudah's pretty strong mentally. He's a very strong mentally guy. He's not like a former tight end who was an absolute bust and just couldn't handle the Lions fans. Okudah is a mentally tough son of a bee, so I think he'll be there. But yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt at all. We need a replacement for Amani Oruwariye and Will Harris. Should we be considering Okudah? He's inconsistent. Amani Oruwariye, yes. Will Harris, yes. Okudah's going to be here this year, so this would be more of a long term. But the other two, we have to get one this offseason in free agency in this year's draft. And we will. They're going to take a corner very high. Very high. What do you think of Rodgers does retire? No, he's not going to retire. You know what? I'm listening to my guy from the Raiders Report, Mitchell Rentz. He seems convinced that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Raider. Why? Because Aaron Rodgers just purchased a home in Las Vegas, 15 minutes from the stadium, and Devonta Adams wants him there. Literally yesterday was posting pictures. So Mitchell Rentz is convinced Aaron Rodgers is going to get traded to the Raiders. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he's very in line with his football team. He understands, and he's got connections with the Raiders and staff and personnel. He's convinced Rodgers is going to be a Raider. So I'll give you, that's his thoughts. I will defer to him with that, and that's what he thinks, so I'm going to go with him. I'm with you on Da'Ron Payne train. If he doesn't break the bank, too bad. He probably wants a long-term contract through Brad Holmes. Isn't too fond normally. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Look, I want the defensive line to be like the Detroit Lions offensive line, one of the best in the NFL. In 2014, we had a kick-ass defensive line. I want this kick-ass defensive line to be back. I want our defense to be killer. I want to win the NFC North, and I think you got to get an interior defensive lineman. Again, like a Payne, I would love Jalen Carter, folks. I'll take Jalen Carter over Da'Ron Payne. But we're sitting at 6. I just don't see how this guy falls there. I don't. You got Brian Breeze, who's fallen off a little bit. Now, again, I think it has to do with a little bit of injuries and his sister. But you know what you got with Da'Ron Payne. That's it right there. If I miss your question, repost it. Really didn't Rams get Ramsey from Carolina? Ramsey came from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was traded over there. That's where he's traded from. Let's see. Big Jets and Raiders talk on Karen Rodgers. Yeah, I think the Jets for sure, but the Raiders stepping their game up. Especially, again, him buying a home, Devonta Adams, and my guy, Rentz, who's on what is going on over there. So it's like, it was the Jets. Now I feel like it's the Raiders is in the lead there. I do. Let's see. Is there a trade back scenario that the nets us nice players at 18 through 58? I think, look, Ronan, that is a big fallback. If you're trying to go down past 15 and a trade back, I want the first-round pick this year, a second-round pick this year, a first-round pick next year. Like, I want a lot because that's a big-ass fallback, and I think the talent does fall off between, you look between 12 area and back, it starts to fall off a little bit. So, yeah, there's talent there, but you're taking a step back. But I want a ton if we're going that far back. I do. I want a ton. Hashtag FGB, who's going to be left? Let Swift or Jamal win? Who's going to be let go? I'm going to say none. I think they're both back next year. I think we do re-sign Jamal Williams, and I think DeAndre Swift's still on his rookie deal. He will be here. What do you think about drafting a running back like Zach Charbonnet? First off, I talked about Zach Charbonnet. I like him. UCLA. And very good back. I thought he's 6'1". He's 6'2", 210 pounds. 220 pounds. And Raw Detroit just made a video on Zach Charbonnet. Very good video. Check it out if you want to know about this guy. It reminds him of Matt Forte, the former running back of the Chicago Bears. Charbonnet reminds me of Arian Foster, the Houston Texans running back. A very solid back, built well, great vision, all around good, not home run speed. A damn good running back, and you can get him in the second round. You can. He is a bell cow. Yes, he is a bell cow. Do we get a comp this year if Glenn leaves, or that next year, or in the year after? I think it's next year and in the year after. 2 third-round compensatory draft picks. I think that's how it goes. It would be 1 next year and then the following year if he becomes a head coach. If I miss your question again, just go ahead and repost it because I'm not trying to be a D. That's just the way it is. I am ready for the Super Bowl to be over so we can start free agency and start the 2023 season. I heard Karen is going to head greater at Vegas and Walmart than she a new home. Yes, I agree with you. I'm ready for the Super Bowl to be over as well. Folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm not excited for the Super Bowl. I really don't want to see Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I really didn't. It's this... I felt like it's like we know exactly what it's going to be. So I'm ready for it to be over, get to free agency, and have this real offseason start to kick off. I'm with you there, 100%. Mike Mayer, no! I'm not taking a tight end in this draft. I ain't taking no tight end 18. If we go tight end, that would be the one pick I would be upset about. I think I'd just do this and walk off. I think I would take my headset off live with Herman Moore. We're going to be on Lions Nation Night live. And I tell you what, maybe we'll be on TV. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think I just take my headset off, walk off the stage if we go a freaking tight end at 18. With the rise of James Houston, do you still want edge with an early pick? I want BPA. That's what I want. I don't want to draft for need. And right now, to me, like, you have your players, right, in your order. My big board is Jalen Carter, 1, Will Anderson, 2, Myles Muphy, 3. There's a potential for Murphy to be there at 6. I don't want to pass on him just for a need at corner at 6 or something else. But that's me. That is me. You may be different, and there's people in this chat that say, Mike, I go Devin Witherspoon. I get it, and you want to know what? I'm perfectly fine. That's just my philosophy. That's mine. That's just mine. Do you think Jared Goff can take us to a Super Bowl? Whew. Man, we got to win a playoff game first. Holy smokes. That's a... Let me get this one.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Can he took the Rams to a Super Bowl. He can, right? If, like, everything is good. And remember, it's not a knock on Jared Goff. You look at the teams in a Super Bowl, they got so much talent on this team. It's not just about a quarterback to get to a Super Bowl, folks. Great offensive line, great defensive line, great weapons on wide receivers, great line. Like, the whole team has got to be good to go to a Super Bowl. It takes a team to get to a Super Bowl. It does. So can he? Yeah, but we need to have a defense too. Like, you got to have a kick-ass defense. You're not going to be able to go to a Super Bowl with the 32nd ranked defense. So, yeah, I can, but it's like, I just want to underscore the importance of having a whole team. And I'm not just talking 11 starters on offense and 11 starters on defense. I'm talking 53-man roster needs to be solid because you're going to have injuries throughout the season. And you need to have depth players that can step in. Like, if you look at the Eagles, their whole damn depth is good. Like, everything is good. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they got players galore on that team. So it just takes a whole team. So that's how it goes. So it's not just one quarterback. Hell, look, Aaron Rodgers, right? The greatest. You know, everyone says, oh, he's so great. He's only been to one Super Bowl and he won it. This dude is, he's considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He's only been to one Super Bowl. One. So, I mean, it takes a lot to get to a Super Bowl. Lovie Smith, I love his defensive coordinator, Ronan. By the way, if we're to lose AG, I'd like him too. Do you think Pascal will be better this year, or do you think he's a possible bust? I don't think he's a bust at all. I don't think he's a bust at all, Lions Cool. I thought he did well this past season. He's going to play better because he's going to be having a training camp, and he's going to actually get reps. Remember, these people, these young rooks that got thrown into it, they didn't have all the reps in training camp. It takes a while, folks, for rookies to get their feet, to get everything right. It took Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had training camp his rookie year, halfway through the season to really develop. Aiden Hutchinson, it just takes a while. Sometimes rookies are not right off day one. We got to be patient. Give players 3 years. I give players 3 years. So I'm not even thinking about bust factor. When people say Aiden Hutchinson's a bust and Jameson Williams a bust and all this, I'm like, oh my God. Not everyone is Ndamukong Suh that comes in day one is just dominant. Not everyone's a Sauce Gardner. It is rare for that to happen. These are rare occasions. Sometimes it takes a while for these rookies to develop. Not everybody's a Kirby Joseph who's just gets it really quick. Players are humans too, and we all learn at a different pace. Some people learn quick. Some people don't. Doesn't make them an idiot or a bust. DeAndre Levy, it took him a couple years to become DeAndre Levy. Darius Slay, it took him 3 years to become Darius Slay. It just takes some time for these guys. So all the rooks from this past draft, be patient. Now, James Houston, absolutely off the wall. That's absolutely balls crazy what he did there. And you'll see players that do that, and that's fantastic. But not everybody's going to be that fast. So like James Mitchell, be patient with Mitchell. I know he didn't blow up like Brock Wright or Shane Zylstra this past draft. Doesn't mean anything. Chase Lucas. Patient with Chase Lucas. May take him a little bit. You know, some of these guys, it could take a little bit. Drew Pack says, #lines could take Bijan or Van Ness at 18. Drew, you're killing me on this video I'm dropping tomorrow. And wait for the second round corner. The cornerback room is so damn deep. It is so deep. It's absolutely deep. And if they took a corner in the second round, I'm not going to be pissed. Manuel Forbes, he's the best nickel corner in football. He's a second round pick. I would not shock me if he's sitting there in the second round. The corners are freaking deep, man. Like a couple, 2 years ago, the wide receiver core was extremely deep. That's how this corner group is. You literally can take 6 corners and say, this is my CB1, and you have 6 different people, and they're all different order. They're damn good. You got some damn good corners. And it's different systems, too, as well. So, yeah, man, look, if they took Bijan Robinson at 18 or Van Ness, it depends who they take. Like, if they took, I don't know, a DT at 6, and then they go Van Ness at 18 and took a corner in the second round, I'm not going to be pissed. If they took a edge at 6 and they took Bijan at 18, I'm not going to be pissed. I'm not. And I don't think people should be pissed off because the CB room in which I would take one at 18 is extremely deep. If they don't go that route, don't say, oh, there's no one available in the second round. Yeah, there is. This is one of the deepest CB rooms I've seen since probably I've been doing the draft, since really going over it, probably since I really started getting to it in 2007. This is the deepest CB room I've ever seen in a draft. And I've been doing this for a long time, so it's damn good. So you're right, it's real deep. But that's kind of why I would love to get a CB at 18. I think you can get a day one starter, a CB1 at 18 that could start right away and get good results. I think, look, we all like Okudah, right? He was considered the number 1 corner a couple years ago. I think 5 corners in this year's draft would be drafted ahead of Jeff Okudah in that draft. What, 3 years ago or 4 years ago? That's how damn deep it is. Edge is deep too, Rodney, 100%. Edge is extremely deep. And there's a lot of, what's interesting about the edge group, and it's good and it's bad at the same time. It's good if you're in the mid to later rounds, because I think there's so many edges that are very similar talent-wise that it sucks if you're sitting at pick 6, right? But if you're sitting at pick 9, it's good because you can get the same type of talent there, so you're 100% right. If I missed your question, put it back in here. What do you think of linebacker at 6, CB at 18? They're not going to go linebacker at 6. I'm putting that, as much as I love a linebacker and is how much I value that position, it's not happening. I give that a 0.0000001% chance. Not Trenton Simpson's not going to go 6. That's Brad Holmes. I don't even think he would take one at all in the first round. I truly don't. And that's, for me, I love the idea of just taking BPA, and so I'll take a corner in round 1, but I don't think Brad Holmes will. As CB at 18, for sure. I just don't see the linebacker there, Trent Simpson, going at pick 6. In all honesty, you could trade to pick 15 and get Trenton Simpson. That's the way I see it. Let's see here. If the draft goes as you want, how far will we go next year? So the draft goes the way that I would want. Okay? So the way that I want to be, I would say Myles Muphy, best CB at 18, probably Christian Gonzalez, unless Witherspoon is there. Just one of those guys. I do a linebacker in round 2, Jack Campbell, and I'd probably go running back or offensive guard, and then switch it up in the 3rd round. How far would that get us? I expect to win the NFC North next year. My expectations is win the NFC North, host a playoff game, and be a top 4 seed, win a playoff game. That is how far I expect. I host a playoff game and win a playoff game. That's my expectations. If we go a little bit below that, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. Will I be happy if we make the playoffs as a wild card? Yeah, but I'll be disappointed because I feel like the Detroit Lions can win the NFC North. I think they're so close. They just build this defense up, and I just don't see the Minnesota Vikings being as lucky as they were next year as they were this year. Hey, Mike, what late-round linebacker do you like? Ooh, I've looked at some late-round guys. I have, and I'm not. I want the Detroit Lions to go early, but if they wanted to go late round, good God, you're killing me, Sims. I would be upset. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like the Detroit Lions, they need a starter right now. I don't want them to get a linebacker past round 3. I don't. But if they do, a player who I thought would be a little bit higher this year, I had him initially as a 2nd round before the college season starts. I think he slips to the 3rd round. We don't have a 4th round selection, but maybe if you trade in the draft and you get one. DeMarvin Overshown. I think he could be a player the Lions could look at to get. He's a quality linebacker. He's a multi-purpose linebacker. He's a tweener guy. He didn't play that well this year to thought what he was going to do. I think he could be an option for the Detroit Lions in the 3rd round, or if we got a 4th round pick if we end up acquiring more draft picks. DeMarvin Overshown. But I'll be pissed if we don't take one if we don't get one in the first 3 rounds. I think I'm going to be pissed off. #FGB, do you think we get robbed out of this year's playoffs? Man, look, I ain't going to lie. The referees piss me the hell off, Devin. And you watch what they did to the Cincinnati Bengals. They got an extra 3rd. They had 5 downs. The referees piss me off. And could they? Hell yeah, they could. Do I think we do? I'm sure they'll have an opportunities for that to happen. The Lions got to beat the crap out of teams so that doesn't happen. We can't do, the last-minute drive this year. We can't be the Minnesota Vikings because we're not going to get that lucky. What's going, Ant-Man? What is going on, Ant-Man? Ant-Man is in the building, enjoying the day. We got 205 people in the building. Smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes, folks. How the hell do we not got 100 likes? We got all these people in here. Hey, what is it? 31 more likes. No, 41 more likes gets us to 100. Smash the like button. Liam, I think the best move is to trade out of 6 and pick up a 4th round pick this year. Of course, with more compensation, but 4th this year. What do you think? Yeah, Liam, I have absolutely no problem at all trading back. I'm with you. And if they pick up a 2nd round pick and a 4th round pick, hell yeah. Look, more ammunition for Brad Holmes who can find talent in the mid to late rounds. Count me in. Yeah, because I want him to
finish him.
To this Lions roster. Finish it. Absolutely. Buy AG. What's going on? Is there something going on that I do not know? Did something happen? The buy AG, let me know, because that's concerning. Let me see. You have me thinking that he's got something here. I have to get my ticker up real quick. You guys freaking me out in this live stream. I ain't seeing nothing. He ain't gone yet. Don't scare me. You had me freaking. Hey, Mike, have you checked the linebacker Ivan Pace Jr.? Have not. Thank you for letting me know. I will. Vash Starwin in the building. Absolute G. Certified. He's certified, bro. Certified G, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Liam, you forgetting me? Hey, we can't be forgetting anybody in this building. Can't be forgetting anybody. AG leaving 50-50. I don't know. I don't think he's leaving. If he does, we get compensatory draft picks, folks. I'm not going to lie, man. Like, if he leaves, I'm not going to be too upset about it. I feel like we could get a guy who can take over the defense well. And then you get 2 comp picks. Again, when you're a good team, you're going to lose coordinators. You're going to. And it's just the way it is, So, I wouldn't be too upset about it. And I just want this team to be good. But I am confident that we can find coaches. We just got Dre Bly, and Dan Campbell knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Absolutely does. Someone just hit me up. Just got a thing here. Sorry, Mike. Let's see here. Just finishing our stream. Well, if you want in, I could send you a link. Ant-Man, I'll give you a link. Hold on one second. I'm going to bring Ant-Man in. We can talk a little bit. Bring my guy in. Give him some questions. The Ant-Man wants to talk for a moment. I'll send him a link. I just got to find my link thing. Here it is. All right, my guy. Let me send this to you. 3 and a 2 and a 1. Why are you freezing? There we go. Don't freeze on me. Can't have freezing. I'm going to have to cut some things out here. There you go. Let me get this off, and this off, and this off, and this off. I don't know what link I sent you, but I sent you a link, and you'll come in. Let me get this set up for the Ant-Man real quick. There we go, and we're going to have some fun. We're getting some Ant-Man talking some foosball. 14 more likes. Hey, we'll get a ultra combo if you give me to 100. Right now, ultra combo. 14 more likes gets an ultra combo. We're at 86. 86. 14 more likes give you 80 ultra combo. 86. 14 away, ultra combo. Can we get that? 13. We're 13. We're 8. Anyway, I want to do an ultra combo. No worries, my man. Hit that like button. Jack Campbell in the 3rd. Yes, sir. 6 more likes. I want to do this ultra combo so bad. I want to do it. 2 more likes. 2 away, man. 2 likes away from an ultra combo. Oh, shit. It just went backwards. 1. 1 away. 1. Oh, my.
Ultra combo!
Let's go, ultra combo. You did it. You did it. You did it. Hooray. Let's go. Let me do another one.
Ultra combo breaker!
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Let's see. Question here. How about Sean Payton to the Broncos? Do you think that will help Russell Wilson next year be back to his normal self and good again? If it don't help him, they're in a world of S because they have invested a lot to get this to work out. To get it to work out. Like they traded for Russell Wilson, gave up this, and then they traded a first-round pick to get him. I see Ant-Man in the building. Let me get him on here. There we go. What's going on, Ant-Man?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Oh, living the dream. Living the dream, man. Hey. Questions for you here in the building. Let's see. Would you trade to pick like 18? Trade out, or not 18, obviously we pick 18, but mid-draft from 6.
Yes. I think I definitely would at this point because I just don't like what's at the top of it. If it falls the way it depends who's there at 6, but if my DTs are gone, then absolutely I'll go back and get my corner instead, and I'll make some more picks for later on in the draft.
Ant-Man's got one of the best channels there is, and they just did a sick video. I watched it yesterday. Very nice, calm talking while the plays are going on. You guys got to subscribe to Roarlines UK. They got some sick content trying to get you guys to 1,000 subscribers. The importance of 1,000 is they can get some compensation for the work they're doing that you don't have to pay for, that ads do. So help these guys get to 1K. They're working extremely hard. Absolutely. So if you're not subscribed over there, help these guys out. Help them out, man. Help him out. So he wants to trade. What's the farthest you'd trade back?
Yeah, I early teens. I'd like to go early teens, but it depends because the whole thing with Devon at the minute, is he going to rise up the board a little too high? Because as I've said, quite a few times already, the corner class is incredibly good. In the first round this year, I think there's going to be a lot, and you've got to find the guy who is amenable to your team, who's best going to fit your structure, your scheme, and I'm still convinced that that's him by a long way. So I don't want to go back too far that I'm going to lose him, but I reckon I could still get to 10, 11 and still get him. So I go to early, sort of like early double digits, 10 to 13, that range.
$1.99 super chat by the real one, Anton G-J-O-N-G Joan-Udge. I'm destroyed your name, man. That's what I do. I apologize. But everybody show this man some love in the comments section. Do you like Jahmyr Gibbs? He is my RB3. He's the fast guy. Drafting him in the second round. That's where I think he does fall. He is a very fast wide receiver, breakaway speed. Raw would say he's kind of like Alvin Kamara type of player. Would you take him in the second round? That's in the later second round pick, maybe. What do you think about this one, Ant-Man?
He's the best dual threat running back in the draft, so yes, I would take him second overall in the second round if he's there. It depends. Again, we've got 5 picks in the top 80. I think we can go what might be termed luxury otherwise. So I love the dual threat ability of him. I'd take him.
I think that would pretty much end DeAndre Swift in Detroit though after the contract year because he can do it all. Right? Like, he can take it out the backfield. He can be the pass catcher. That's kind of what Swift has been kind of put to. What do you think would happen if you take a Gibbs? What do you think it means for the future? Not this year, but the future of DeAndre Swift.
I think if I'm lining Jahmyr Gibbs and DeAndre Swift up in my backfield, I think a defensive coordinator is going to have a hell of a headache to deal with. I mean, I know it's his last year and whatnot. You have to protect yourself in the future. Even if Jamal comes back, which is probably maybe a 1-year deal, I don't know. We've given him a 2-year deal before, but your running back room is bare as of the end of next season, so you have to protect yourself going forward. I don't want to kind of go around next year, maybe it not work with Swift or Williams or whatever, and then I'm going into 2023 and I've got to rebuild my whole running back room. I'd rather protect myself in the future. So I see a position where he comes in and he works with Swift, both of them together, and we have two bona fide threats out the backfield. So I think there's still a role for Swift here. He's still got a year to prove you can get a longer deal. And because, as I say, they're both such dual threat guys, you don't need them both in the backfield. You can use one in the slot. You can use them differently. You can mix the snaps up between them.
Yeah, I think for this year, you're 100% right. It would be a nightmare for defenses. It would be an interesting, discussion for going forward, DeAndre. I think it would spell the end of him after this year, for sure. This year, it would be a nightmare, but that'd be very interesting because that would be the conversation. Would be whoa. But yeah, I haven't really thought about Gibbs coming to the Lions. Now I'm looking at Charbonnet a little bit more because I like the size and the power that he brings. But that would absolutely be a home run hitter. He would be like the Jameson Williams of running backs. He got that home run hit.
And if you don't, there's other guys later on. The running back class is stacked. The one who's really stood out at the Senior Bowl this week is Tyjae Spears, the Tulane running back. So he's had a magnificent end to the year. Tulane had one of the biggest turnarounds in college football this year. He had such a great end to the season, but the knock on him has always been receiving because he's only catched like 28 passes in 25 games there. It's not something he's been asked to do, but he can. And if you've seen him at Senior Bowl this week, after Kenny McIntosh, he's probably been the best receiving back there. So he's definitely got it about him. And he's probably not going to go to late day 2, something like that. Your round 3, your round 4, it depends. He might rise. But if you don't want to spend too high a pick on a guy, you can go back and get another one. And he would certainly be one to keep an eye out on. I've been really excited by him, actually. So you'll see. There's a lot of good talent at the Senior Bowl this year for the running backs.
What's your thoughts on Russell Wilson's toxic behavior in the locker room? I don't know if he's really toxic or more of a kind of a soft guy. He doesn't seem like a guy that's toxic. They had all sorts of issues over there. I think their head coach had a lot to do with it. Maybe he's a little bit of a diva, but I don't think it's as big as issue as maybe the media portrays it to be. What do you think?
I'm very intrigued to see what happens between Peyton and him.
Yeah.
Because that's two big-ass egos, and if they do not get along, Russ won't get Peyton fired like he did Hackett.
Yeah,
they've invested in Peyton. He's not going anywhere, and so I don't think Russ is toxic. I just think he's different, isn't he? He's like he keeps himself very separate from his team. He's very away from football. He's very just himself, and people might not say he's the ideal teammate. I don't know. He's just a bit different. I don't think it's toxicity. I just think it's something a little bit different. But
yeah,
him and Peyton's going to be interesting. I have a feeling that this is either going to work perfectly, or it's going to be a massive pile of flames, and we'll enjoy watching it. So
people remember Golden Tate and him didn't get along, so that was an interesting thing there. Christopher Hudson, I actually was in the Army with Sergeant Hudson. Wonder if you're related. He was my squad leader for some time. Who are the Lions looking to replace Duce Staley's position? I have no idea who they're looking to be the new running backs coach. I do not know. I've heard anything as up to this point. Have you heard anything there, Ant-Man, upon potentially who could be there? No there? Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of Dre Bly, though, coming to the Detroit Lions? I love it.
See, this is where I'm different, and because I wasn't around during the Dre Bly years. That was in the mid-noughties. That was a little bit before my time. So I don't have the emotional connection of him being a player. The only thing I have to go on is his record as a coach. And, he's been a coach at UNC for the last 3 years. He's been coaching the cornerbacks there. And, me, I watch a lot of college football. And UNC's defense over the last few years has been horrific. It's been horrible. Now, he's just a position guy. It's probably not down to him or anything. But that's the only thing I have to go on at the minute is the body of work there. There's nothing outside. So, I trust Dan. I know that he makes really good staff hires, and if it doesn't work, he changes it quick, and he does get the right guy in. So, I'm more than happy for this to be a thing. But for the information I have, I can't really draw much from it. Again, because it's just a small body of college work to work from, and it's not good. So, but I don't want to write him off because of that, because I know it's probably not his thing. It's not his fault.
Hope you guys like the graphics. Made this new one today. I got the NFL logo moving in the background. I don't know if you can tell, but it is actually moving from each side. So I'm trying to get it a little bit better for you guys to view. So hopefully you guys like it as I continue to form this channel with new graphics from videos as well as live streams. Trying to change a little bit on this channel. I want to give you, instead of just dropping videos, a ton of videos, I want to do more well-done videos, with something with better visuals. I guess quality over quantity, so that's what I'm trying to do. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you got any ideas, you can always leave it in the comment section for me. Come up with some new concepts. Liam says, I think Swift would be a great, or a slot back. You could have Jamal in as running back and Swift as slot back. That would be crazy. Yeah, that would be crazy, and that's exactly what Ant-Man was talking about earlier when he was on here. He's talking about how it would give defenses nightmares to have something like that on there. It kind of looked like Kansas City Chiefs a little bit. Let's see. CB's at 6, a strong pass. What do you think about taking a cornerback at 6?
See, I know why people think that, but people over there, it's a lot to do with positional value and that, but I think you've got to find the guys that schematically fit your team, and if he is the right guy, I don't mind paying at 6. It's better to draft him at 6 than to draft maybe a player who on paper is better and has more talent, but doesn't fit your team, doesn't fit what you need. So, is it too rich? Maybe, but I don't think so. If we're talking about Devon here, I think he's everything that this team requires. Man coverage, great at that, very physical at the line of scrimmage, plays the schemes, plays the system. If you get him in and long-term develop him into a great corner, then 6, you pay that price for it. And our cornerback room needs gutting out. It does. There should be Jerry and Jeff here next year, and that's it. So we've got to put in some serious investment at the position. It's not something we can fix by bringing in vets. We've got to bring long-term stability to the position. And I think if he's there, you go and get him, and people will say, yes, the cornerback class is deep, and yes, it is, but you still want one of the elite guys out of there. And I'd be double dipping as well. I think I'd be getting him first, and then I'd be taking Kublu Kelly later on, because I think he's exactly the same. And I think he's a hidden guy. I'd have 2, and I'd just proper rebuild the position up. But if 6 is what it takes, so be it. You've got 5 picks in the top 80. So even if you are slightly reaching for him, it doesn't matter, because you're still getting plenty of talent in on the team. I think that is the luxury we can be afforded by having such good draft capital this year. We need to reach a little bit, we can.
Would you guys take a cornerback at pick 6? Y for yes and N for no. Let me know in the comment section. Spam it right now with Y's and N's. I'm curious to see what your thoughts on this one. I'm BPA. If they feel their player is the best player available, I'm for that. That is my... Do I have a certain player ahead of others? Yes. But my draft board is different from other people's. But we got... Sal says no. Let's see. Just subscribe to Lawrence UK. There you go. Lions Roar 74. Just get there. Lisa says why. Cedric says why. Bobo says no. Why? No mad. Kool-Aid. No. Ranting Q. No. Why Hatman. Kool-Aid. So it's 50-50. It's 50-50. So, I mean, that's about reasonable right there for sure. That's about reasonable.
So people are obviously still, not traumatized, but they still remember the Jeff pick. And they are skeptical about that. All I would sort of say in regards to that is, yes, I am as well, but my GM who's picking is a lot smarter than the one who picked Jeff. And I'm not saying Jeff was the bad pick there, but I think they were BPA. They need the best corner going. They just got rid of Slay. You've kind of really got to go in and make a splash at corner. Whereas here, I think I've got a GM who's picking the best player for my team. So I want the best player for my team. I don't necessarily want the most talented guy because I don't think Holmes is that guy. You've seen with Pascal, you've seen with Levi, he wants players who he feels are going to fit a specific role in this team, and he wants to, get the highest ceiling player possible, but they've got to have a moment here. So I think he will quite happily do that again, and I would trust him to do that because it has worked so far. With most of the picks he's made, like when they picked Aleem, nose tackle, it was a position the team needed, so they went and got him. There might have been better players in there, I don't know. I mean, I love him to bits, but it's what the team required. So if he picks it at 6, I know he's making the best pick for what this team needs. So I'm not going to worry like it was with Jeff at 3.
Have you looked at linebacker Ben Van Summerlin? I think he's the Michigan State guy. Middle linebacker there. Right here, he's a good tackler. He's intense. Very strong motor. But he's more of like a fifth-round pick, my opinion. He's not in the earlier rounds. That's kind of what I have him as. What do you think about him potentially as a guy to develop?
I've not done that much tape on him, so I can't really add much to that. All I would say is the one everyone should be looking at is Da'Ron Henley. He is ridiculously good, and he will be ridiculously good. If you've watched his Senior Bowl practices this week, his one-on-one reps against tight ends and running backs as an inside linebacker is amazing. And he's a tweener. You can play him at safety. You can play him at linebacker. He is going to be a weapon for someone at the next level. So if you're looking for guys on day 2, etc., as a linebacker, then Da'Ron Henley, go no further than him. I'm really excited by him.
We got Grandizer in the building. What's going on? And Man Bear Pig. What is up, Man Bear Pig, with the great name right there. Would you take, this is a big deal. Now, I think I would draft this person at pick 6. He delivers. He gets the goods, the Hamburglar at pick 6. I need burgers. You select him. This guy will give you hamburgers quick. The Hamburglar at pick 6.
Oh, absolutely.
I ain't taking no Ronald McDonald. I feel like Ronald McDonald right there is a waste of a pick. But
see, Mike, that's kind of like you're insinuating taking a cornerback there. Hamburglar steals things, corner steals passes, steals balls, gets pick 6s. I think that was a metaphor for a cornerback at 6, Mike. You're going to anger half the chat now that you said that.
Yeah, that's funny.
See, yeah, again, the person there that you've got comment you've got about is saying, it's a really cornerback heavy draft, and yes, it is. But if you're getting like Clark Phillips later on, who's really good, he's a slot corner. We don't need a slot corner. We need an outside corner, an aggressive outside corner. So yes, the draft is deep, but in terms of the specific needs of this team, it is not so deep. We can get lots of good corners, but they might be what we already have. So you've got to take that into consideration. You want a strong outside corner, great with the big physical receivers who can do all that sort of stuff. So that just sort of narrows it down a bit. But that doesn't mean there's loads of great corners around. There are loads of great corners around, but you need what specifically your team wants. So that's why I'd be a bit more cautious at the top. Because I take Clark Phillips, but I don't need him. I need Devin Witherspoon. And that ilk.
Yeah, that's the draft for you. That is the draft for you, folks. We've been on for a little over an hour, and it's Thursday, and hope everybody has a great weekend. Anthony, tell the people why they should subscribe to your channel.
If you want a little different spin on things, Detroit Lions base, we're a group of 7 guys over in the UK, over the Atlantic, who maybe see the game a little bit differently. If you want to see what we think and feel about the game, then come check us out. We go live on Mondays. I do a college show with another guy on Wednesdays where we look at things all related to the Lions and the draft, and we do loads of interviews and stuff as well. So if you want something a little different, come try us out.
Definitely. Let's get this guy to 1,000 subscribers, him and his team. They do fantastic work. Part of Lions Nation Unite, and it's all about Detroit Lions and prospects in building this football team. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Everybody have a great weekend. Video drops tomorrow on my channel and Saturday. Have a great weekend, folks, and enjoy it. Adios.
for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah.